in emulating the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is part of this getting closer to God. And this is what Islam is basically. You've already heard the pillars of Islam and what we believe. But Islam, it is called deen. Deen comes from a word that means to pay a debt back, to repay something. And in Islam, our journey in Islam is repaying what Allah has given us in abundance from our life and everything we need for our disposal on this earth, and our ability to think and to use our limbs and to procreate, and all of the blessings that we receive. And that is across the board, whether you're Muslim or non-Muslim, atheist, everyone receives those blessings. And to become Muslim means to try to repay that debt as best as you can. That's the essence of Islam. And we do it by following the example of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, where the Quran describes him as a uswatu hasana, as the best example. And I encourage you as I close, because we have another phenomenal speaker here, and I can't take up his time because he's gonna really deliver it. But the following the Prophet is what we believe is the best way to get to God, because when you read his story, and I encourage you to look up his biography, things that he did, like he didn't speak a lot. And some of his companions, they said that when he spoke, they could count the words that were coming out of his mouth, because he spoke clear and precise and make every word count. And sometimes they said when he would speak, they thought that he would never be quiet. And then when he didn't speak, they thought he would never speak again. How he dealt with people. It said that he used to smile with people, he used to show his teeth. When people used to meet him, they reported that they saw light coming out of his mouth when he spoke. Because of his duty to Allah and carrying this universal message of no God but God. And like I said, the beauty of Islam is that we can look at his life and see how we're supposed to do that. Up from his life till he received the revelation, up till he died, his whole life was the best example. Like, you will never find any Muslim at any time that practiced Islam better than the Prophet, peace be upon him. He was the embodiment of Islam. And all of us follow his example. How he got up at night and went to the graveyard to visit the dead. How he cried when he heard the Quran recited, and he was the one to receive the revelation. How he dealt with his wives gently, where he instructed men that the women are like fragile vessels, deal with them gently. How he forgave his enemies. How he invited them to have a peace treaty, if they got into war. So, when you mention terrorism, sometimes this is what's been propagated against Islam, but they never tell us the part about when the Prophet, peace be upon him, would forgive his enemies if they did something as simple as teaching people how to read. That was a ransom for them. And some of these things have been buried, but they want to focus on, Islam and terrorism, which we all know Islam is free from terrorism. And as you said, the false Islam, or stuff that happens as a result of what's going on in that region, but it's free from the religion itself. And when you look at his example, it's just replete with so many. I can't describe it. I can't really describe it, but his practice has transformed the lives of millions, billions. Reading his story and his journey, and it's just remarkable. But this is how we believe we get closer to Islam. Get closer to Allah by emulating his example as best as we can, because it teaches us everything in our lives of how we should conduct ourselves. So we invite you, as this is a discussion of what Islam is. Islam is submission, surrender, the free will that the Almighty gave us to think, that he requests that we turn it over and we try to worship him the best that we can, and according to the Prophet Muhammad, who continued the message of all of those great prophets and messengers who came before him. And this is what, for me, when I learned what Islam finally was, and then it struck me. So then it was easier to practice because, you know, without a doubt that Islam has a lot of regulations. There are a lot of things, but once you learn what the purpose is of why you shouldn't do a certain thing, and it's all it is to earn the favor of the Almighty. The one who created everything, you know, they're still discovering. You look like you just graduated high school. Right? You look kind of young. But I know when I went to high school, they used to have like 9 planets. You know, the solar system was 9 planets, and I think they have now like 40 or more that they're discovering. And, you know, we're talking about just one galaxy. There's galaxies and stars that are billions of light years away. Allah is the creator of all of this. And it was without any difficulty that he created everything that's in existence. And he created us. And our creation is remarkable in and of itself, you know, absolutely. And he gave us the free will that he could have very well gave to the mountains and the animals. And he made us upright. And the only thing that he requests from us is to try to obey him as best as we can. This is our only duty. And to, you know, live an upright life and to be charitable and take care of neighbors and forgive enemies, you know. And so this is the Islam. When I finally learned what Islam was, I was like, I was missing this my whole life. What happened? And I actually went back to one of my friends and, you know, I said, man, why you didn't just tell me this from the beginning? You know, you gave me all of these books and told me all of these rules. And, you know, even before I accepted Islam, I had stopped eating pork and, you know, I stopped doing certain things, but I had no idea. I never made the connection that this was to do it for the Lord of everything in existence. Until I read that, like I told you in the Quran, this praise is for Allah, the Lord of everything in existence. So this is what we do it for in hopes to earn his favor. So I'm not going to take too much more of your time. But we do thank you for coming out and being our guest. We're honored to have you here. You know, in these days and times, it is something brave to come out and be with us, and we really appreciate it. And, you know, spending your afternoon with us and getting some more insight of Islam. And I thank all of you brothers and sisters for being patient with us, inshallah. And we hope that this talk will have some benefit, inshallah. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept all of our endeavors. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم.
الله يرضى عليك Sheikh Fahim. Give the mic to Brother Yusuf. You want to say something?
I don't know what to say. Everything has been said.
Yallah, Sheikh Yusuf. Any question for Brother Yusuf? Somebody has any question for him?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي خلق الإنسان علمه البيان والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنعام وعلى آله وأصحابه الكريم وعلى من دعا بدعوته إلى يوم الدين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I think what I need to add is what I have been talking about, the questions of when Brother Fahim was talking about what people talk about us today. One thing that we Muslims need to do, the power of communication is very powerful. It is very, very deep in this country. And one thing that I see, people talk about the Muslims, but people don't talk to the Muslims. Everybody talks about the Muslim. Islam do this, Muslim do this, but nobody talks to the Muslims and asks them what do they think. And on the other side, we are over 9 million Muslims in the United States today. If Allah can bless us with a 24-hour, even if it is just a radio station, where all we say is what is Islam, what is the meaning of the Islam, what is the root of Islam, what is jihad, what is the root word of jihad? What does jihad mean? How many types of jihad is there? What is Sharia? Is Sharia is just like a constitution of America? Do we have a book like this where it stated this? If you can answer, we can answer. Keep on talking about this to people. I think people will be able to listen to us and look deep into what Islam is. But again, did we, the Muslims ourselves, do we actually understand what Islam is? Is Islam in your clothes or in your face? Or what Allah said in Hadith Qudus to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that Allah tell them, I don't look into their faces, I don't look at their dresses. I look into their hearts and what they do. Imam Shabli was talking about Kufi and everything. I've seen Muslims fighting about Kufi. You spend 2 hours talking about Kufi? Where did Kufi come from? Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam put Kufi? Kufi is from Kufa in Iraq. It was the custom of the people of Iraq. Is it Ashhadu Allah ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammad, Ashhadu Kufi? So if you don't wear it, you're not a Muslim. Or if you don't put a tawb or jalabiya. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was wearing jalabiya 40 years before he became a prophet. Is that part of the Sharia that Allah sent him to come and teach you how to wear jalabiya? These are things that Muslims fight about. People don't know how to make salah. They don't know what is sujood qabla salami. They don't know what is sujood ba'da salami. They don't know Islamic history. They don't understand the institution of the Muslim people and the Muslim law. They just think, just go to the mosque and follow the imam, that is it. And I'm okay. And since in Allah yaghfiru dhunuba jami'an, innahu huwa ghafurur rahim, I can go out and do whatever I like and I can come to the mosque and ask Allah for forgiveness and this is okay. Then I get out again and do the same thing. Yes, Allah said it in Surah Al-Zumma. Ya ibadiy allazina asrafu ala anfusikum la taqnatu min rahmatillah. Inna Allah yaghfiru dhunuba jami'an, innahu huwa ghafurur rahim. But what did he follow with it? وَأَنِبُوا إِلَىٰ رَبِّكُمْ. Go back to your Lord and hold on to Allah. قَبْلَ أَنْ يَأْتِكُمْ بِعَذَابٍ ثُمَّ لَا يَنْظُرُونَ. Allah will never change us until we change. If we refuse to march forward to do what is better for us, and we are so concerned, مَا كَانَ يُرِيدُ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا وَزِينَتَهَا. Good, Allah said, I will give it to you everything. We will not diminish anything from you. However, أولئك ليس لهم في الآخرة, you have nothing to ask, إلا النار. And for some people, we will not even question them because we already know their destination. And for some people, we will question them. So all of us are ambassadors of Islam. Our behavior, our actions, our everything that we do reflects. We want Muslims who, when people see them walking, people will say, yes, I want to be like that person. Why? Because he's a Muslim. They are honest, they are straightforward, they mean what they said, they say what they mean. And we don't oppress because the woman followed the man behind doesn't mean that she's a slave. Read Surah Ali Imran, ayah 195. Look at what Allah said. Both men and women, you are the same, of the same sex. The same reward and everything. Your differences are natural. I will never misplace any of your good deeds and everything. You will be judged equally as far as law is concerned. Yeah, Allah make man, Allah make woman. And Allah said the man has a bit more power. So he is the provider and everything. But he doesn't say she cannot be whatever she can be. But if you have a tradition where she's not working and the husband is working, then she becomes his minister. She becomes the executor. She becomes the chief executive who stayed in the heart and everything. And this is what I'm saying, that we need more presence in the community. In this country, what I noticed since I came to America is when people say something about you and the TV repeat it and they repeat it and no counter, people believe it is. They believe it is. And we have to figure out what we're going to do, inshallah. Whether we go to radio in Philadelphia, we used to have this Islam Today on Saturdays. It's still there. We're talking about Islam and everything, but it's only once in a week. from 5 to 6, 1 hour. We don't have it 24 hours the way other people, other religions have it. We know that we are growing and everything, but we should start thinking about it, how we're going to put it into existence. We took it. Or if Allah bless us, we have a cable channel, just one cable channel. And people can see the brothers. They can see us talk about Islam, talk about Islam, talk about Islam. What is Islam, what is not Islam? The Prophet already said it. If you take your hadith, you look at hadith number 30. Said Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set rules and regulations. He has set prohibition, what you can do, what you cannot do. So, whatever Allah told you to do as much as you can. Whatever He said don't do, avoid it as much as you can. He said, but there is a place where Allah left something silent, not because He forgot. He left it for you as a mercy so that you can grow. Do not investigate it. Sometimes we investigate things, we spend times on things that doesn't benefit us. So in Islam, you have categories of 4 people. And Islam explains it. You have a person who knows, and he knows that he knows. Or she knows, and she knows that she knows. The Prophet ﷺ, those are knowers. You want to stay with them. You have the one who knows, but he doesn't know that he knows. That one is negligent. You need to wake him up. You have the one who doesn't know, and he knows that he doesn't know. Then that one is ignorant. You have to teach him. But you have the one who doesn't know, and he doesn't know that he doesn't know. That is the most dangerous one that you want to avoid. So be with great mind. Great mind are the minds that discuss events and issues. What can we do for our children? What can we do for the Muslim? How can we have an Islamic bank? How can we have Islamic school? How can we have Islamic university? These are great mind. Look, discussing events and issues. Little mind, they discuss personalities. And you want to avoid them. And that is the way that we can let people see. What did the Prophet say? A Muslim is the one who is friendly to people. He loves people and people love them so that they can hear the truth. And Allah told the Prophet, if an atheist woman who is running away from persecution and injustice, oppression, comes to you for protection, you must protect them so that she can hear the truth. The same thing to a man. Because why? Because oppression is was the mother. And we see what is happening. So charity begins at home. I pray to Allah that the way we sit down here, we will see the good in ourselves, we will see the good in Islam, and then we'll be grateful to Allah. Because all of us here, wallahi, we're not poor. We are all very rich. We're rich because we have where to sleep. We're rich, we have clothes to wear. We're rich because we are healthy to be here. What if we are in the hospital or sick bed and we can walk and we can talk? Because Allah said in the Quran, if He place any hardship on you, nobody can relieve you except Allah. And if Allah decided to bless you with anything good, wallahi, nobody can stop it. Allah is the one who gives things the way He likes. Allah is the one who forgives and pardons. We have to show it and be kind. Rasulullah doesn't call anybody name. He wasn't sent to dehumanize anybody. He was sent with the message. And if he's going to give the message, then he has to be nice to people. He has to respect them. And nobody, look at all Islamic history book. Read even the Orientalists. Nobody ever said Muhammad was discourteous to them. Nobody ever said Muhammad insult them back. Even while he was praying, sujud, and they put the stomach of animal on his head, never retaliated. Never. Always repel good with evil. Repel good with evil. That is his character. Like the Imam said today. Some of us wouldn't even give each other salam. Because I don't look like you, or you don't look like me, or I don't dress like you. So dress and appearance become Islam more than Iman, more than faith and everything. And that is what people are saying and everything. That's why Allah is warning us, do not debate with one another, do not disagree with one another, because your power will depart and you will hate each other. Therefore, don't become sect, become one and work together. And that is what we need, because we are at the crossroad. It's like everything in Islam, the moment you hear, it's very depressing. Maybe some of you brothers here, you don't work in the type of job that I do. Imam Shibli, we work all the same, we work for the state. I work not only for the state, I am the Imam to the New Jersey State Police. And then when you see people in uniform that you're teaching about Islam coming to you and said, Dr. Salman, what type of Islam is this? You see what they did there? You see what they did there? Every day. Sometimes I just say, yeah. Are they Muslims? They said they are Muslim. I don't know. But I know that Allah said, anybody who take life unjust, it's like he killed whole humanity. And everybody who save life, it's like he saved humanity. So, but they're saying Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. I say, anybody can say Allah Akbar. You think everybody in Middle East and Africa is a Muslim? Where I come from, we have people whose name is Dawood Abu Bakr, Usman Ali, and they are all Christian, and we all dress alike. And when they see you, they say Salaam Alaikum. And that is the greeting in Hausa, which is about 65% Arabic. But they are Christians. And then in the Middle East, we have Christians too, Arabs. So because they say Salaam Alaikum and they talk and everything, somebody said, anybody can say Allahu Akbar. In order to dehumanize Islam, or to say that Islam, this is all we do. And everything that you look at it today is nothing, it has nothing to do with Islam, it has something to do with money. It's all money, money, money. And we the Muslims too, we need to be very careful, because Rasulullah said it in the mosque, in the last Fajr prayer that he prayed, 2 days before he passed. What did he tell the Sahabas? I'm not afraid that you're going to go back to Jahiliyyah, but I'm afraid that you'll be killing each other because of material things. He said it. And it's happening. And then are we going to say that we don't know that he said it? We don't know the hadith, we don't know the statement? We know it. Then why can't we just try and let Allah decide? Because, wallahi, we are all in this. My prayer to Allah is, may Allah make Islam succeed. May Allah help and put the heart of the Muslims who actually want to work for Islam. May Allah unite them and let them work for Allah. And may Allah let Islam be what it is. Because that is what Allah said to the Muslims in Surah Al-Hajj. What did he say there at the bottom of Surah Al-Hajj? No? So that the Prophet ﷺ would be a model for you. وَتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ. And you, the Muslim, a model for humanity. So go lead. Go show people how to do things. Let them see how it is done. Because Muhammad was sent to all humanity. Isa was sent to a particular group. Musa to a particular group. Every prophet was sent to a particular group. But Muhammad was sent to all humanity. So it's not only the Arab prophet, it's not only the Muslim, it's everybody's prophet. Because it's Quran, and the Quran complement all other things. So Islam, you can say there, Islam, alhamdulillah, is peace and everything. Then people will say, how come a religion that has this good name, and then they have all these people? What can we do? We don't have papacy in Islam. We don't have pope that will tell all the Muslims, this is what you need to do. We don't have it. Like in Catholicism, which is highly organized, you have the bishop, you have the hierarchy. In Islam, we don't have hierarchy. Anybody can say whatever they like. And that is one of the issues. So how can we control it? Who said this, who said this? Especially here. And then there too now, we see what is going on. So I think all we can do is go back to the Quran and remember what Allah said in the Quran. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu alaykum wa anfusakum. O you who believe, take good care of yourself. If you do, Allah said, no hurt can come to you from those people who are in error. Maybe if we are, all of us look into our heart and try to be good, better Muslims, then we can all meet in the middle, and then may Allah bless all of us together, inshallah.
Barakallah feek,
سبحانك
ya
اللهم
Sheikh.
وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
Jazakallah khair, inshallah. Brother and sister, inshallah, in your behalf, we ask those imam who give their time, inshallah, spoke to us about the question, what is Islam? Finally, inshallah, before we end our program, الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول من لم يشكر الناس لم يشكر الله. Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, who doesn't thank people, that means he doesn't be thankful to Allah. Inshallah, we like to thank our new converted sister to Islam, Sister Aisha. She's the one held the center to organize this program. فنسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept her effort, inshallah, رب العالمين. Aisha, you want to speak something before we end?
Yes, you do.
Go ahead.
You've never been quieter.
Yalla Aisha. We'll see, inshallah. Before I give the mic to Aisha, I want to share something with you. Aisha, when she came to the center and learn about the Islam, she asked me, Sheikh, I want to be one day a female imam. This is accepted in Islam. So she is learning, inshallah. Yalla Aisha.
Assalamu alaikum. I recently converted to Islam. My husband is Islamic Turkish. And one of the things that I admired the most was his friendliness. And he's very old-fashioned. And his traditions and his culture, I thought, were amazing. I was born and raised Catholic. And after learning about Islam through my husband, and learning and observing and seeing, I loved it. I thought it was beautiful. I never realized that women are not oppressed. We are not terrorists. We are generous. We're loyal. We're faithful. We are merciful. We love everybody. We teach people. We take care. And there's nothing more beautiful out there. So I went to my husband and I said, I'm ready. And he goes, you're ready for what? I said, I want to convert. And he goes, you do? I said, yeah. And I did. And it was the best decision I ever made. I have no regrets. I have no, I don't know the word. I never once thought twice. I never once thought, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Every waking thought is, this is the best thing I can do. Every waking thought is, what can I do to help somebody today? What can I do today? Who can I help today? And that's what our religion is. It's helping. There's nothing better. And that's why I'm here.
Good, mashallah. Thank you. طيب, Jazakallah khair, Sister Aisha, may Allah reward you, inshallah. Last thing, before we end, from the brother, from the guest, did anybody has any questions? Feel free to talk. Any questions? It's your chance. MashaAllah, 3 imams, not including myself, 3 imams.
Somebody have a question, Imam.
Yes.
The lady, she said she has questions.
Larry,
I'm over here.
here is the mic.
Don't you don't have to walk.
Sorry, but this is one of the things I live and accept in life is my cane. I was invited today. I didn't know what I was going to say, but I'm going to tell you something. My religion and your religion share a lot of things, and many centuries ago we used to live close by close. I am an American Jew, but I don't act like one because I find the kindness in people and other things. And like I was saying today to someone here, your temple is your heart and your mind, and your philosophy is your heart, your kindness. So from there it can stem. You got to be the best you can be today in America, and you got to show that you love other people and care, and especially the young ones that are growing up today. They're our future citizens of America, not your children, my niece. I'm thankful for what I have, and I met a Lebanese family about 2 years ago where I live, and I'm happy I have them. So I like to end and say shalom.
Shalom to you, Mary. Good.
Barakallah feek.
طيب, do we have any question before we end?
There are question there.
Go ahead.
The more everybody's talking, the more I realize we have in common. It's just we all feel the same. We just share. We share everything we're talking about. It's just a beautiful thing.
The religions are have
Very
a lot in
similar.
common.
Very,
They have a lot of the same beliefs.
Yes, alhamdulillah.
My question is, I'd like to know why people do terrorist acts such as bombings and killings and beheadings, and St. Louis Allah told them to. Why? Allah, God, does not teach you to kill people. This is why when my daughter married her husband and then afterwards told me, well, he's Muslim, I panicked. I went into a total panic. I thought, oh my God, he's going to make her do things. I don't understand. I don't understand it.
Go ahead.